Hi everyone, this is Lena from Sweden, and I would really like to thank all of you who are at YouTube making content or just exchanging, experiences of the Myers-Briggs in general, but especially being an INFJ because it's hard. One of the hardest parts for me is the multifaceted personality that I fucking have to deal with through every day of my life. I'm also very happy to see that a lot of people are addressing how we can kind of help ourselves to have a good life and to be healthy INFJs and to not work against but challenge our complicated traits to make something useful and productive and loving out of that. And I'm wearing white because I feel sometimes that the INFJ is all other personality types from the Myers-Briggs spectrum. Maybe a bit like the Joker in a deck of cards, we can play as any other card. We can be any other type. We can be extrovert or introvert. We can be thinking or feeling. We can take any role, kind of codependent amoeba qualities. And maybe you could even say that we are the fool of a tarot card deck. Number one is the magician, but before the magician is the fool, because the fool is open. The fool is just wandering around in the world as anything and everything, and that's the same with the color white. I heard that white is really all colors in one. So this is hard, trying to find out who we really are. I don't know, and I guess that's a life quest for everyone, but for this clip, I chose some of my personalities and how I'm working with them. First personality on stage, the leader. Oh God. Okay, if everyone just calms down, and then you who are an alcoholic, and you who are obviously oppressed by your wife, and you who are a closet case, if you just channel your pain elsewhere, we can make something amazing happen here. Yeah, the leader is kind of new to me because I never realized that I could be a leader, although I'm a sensitive person. I always thought that sensitivity and leadership cannot be combined, but of course they can. It's just a different kind of leadership. And the biggest problem is the fact that we're so scared of conflict. So I'm just starting to see how I can try to be a leader and deal with my fear of conflict, because not all conflicts are dangerous, and conflict is a natural part of every relation and can appear in any situation. There will be conflicts along the way, whatever happens. It doesn't mean that there's something wrong with my leadership or wrong with whatever I am leading. Yeah, Jesus. Jesus, working on everyone's karma, but from afar. I'm not the kind of person who will be in your face suggesting diets or meditation routines or retreats or other yoga stuff. My alone time and my working with myself and just pondering humanity is working on the karma for everyone on the planet. Yeah, the poet girl. I was reading some Simone de Beauvoir and some Jean-Paul Sartre, but then I had some coffee and I realized they're not deep enough. I'm trying to give her more space, actually. She might seem like a problem because she's very dark, and if you try to discuss something with her, argue with her about the state of things, she will always be smarter, she will always be darker, and she will always have an answer for every argument, how things are not going to work out. But she's also cool. I think it's cool, especially as a woman, as a sober, proper woman, to allow this poet girl inside who is dark and maybe even suicidal to just be there, to fuck everything and just have coffee and let the apartment, let the house go crazy and like not do the dishes or like washing the clothes or not tidying up. She's like maybe smoking and having casual sex that she shouldn't have. She's a rebel. Maybe also as a counterpoint to the perfectionist in me as an INFJ. Yeah, the counselor. Uh-huh. Oh, yeah, I hear you. Yeah, I totally understand. Yeah, and I know it's so easy to try to like numb existential pain through romantic relationships, but you know, it never really works. Sometimes, even though I'm not like in people's face, but when I have conversations with people, I hear myself coming with advice that my friends didn't ask for. And sometimes I'm like, oh, can I just shut up? Can I just listen and let this person just feel miserable or whatever, and without coming with a sharing that totally like concludes existential facts on such a deep level. On the other hand, my friends chose me because I'm me. So I let my counselor come and go a little bit, and I try to remind myself no one hired me to be a counselor, and that can also be kind of a heavy burden, just like the hermit Jesus, to carry everyone's karma, to carry the weight of the world, and to kind of just release myself of that job some of the time. Yeah, the nerd! But what if all our current definitions of value that all stem from neoliberal capitalism are not valid or serving us anymore, although they're applied to all our affairs, such as relationships and health and identity? I love the nerd. I just hope she will get paid someday. The partner. The partner here was to illustrate my absence. Wow, this is deep. I think, you know, I was partly raised in a family of like codependence or counterdependence, or where my parents kind of had a competition in absence. So I was very lonely as a child, and in a way I think I'm like misconnected in my emotional coding, if you know what I mean. But sometimes I also think that distance in relationships with INFJs are a way of us to demonstrate trust, because we don't have to be like this all the time to manifest that we're having intimacy and that we're having a relationship and that we're trusting each other. When we are apart, like physically or just intellectually, emotionally for a bit, where we can come and go and have some space, that also shows that we trust each other enough to be free. So I'm not sure it's such a bad thing, but I do find that in friendships and in intimate relationships, this is confusing to others, how I can seek to like have intimacy with them and then step back and just seclude myself or isolate myself a bit or just wander off. But to me, that's also a part of feeling comfortable and safe and free and intimate with someone, actually, to kind of show the real me, to let go. So those were some of my INFJ facets and INFJ personalities. What are yours and what do you do with them?